Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. Y'all know why y'all here. Anything I say is alleged and in my personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is not personal. So your girl's is out of town. I was gonna bring my mic and stuff, but my microphone keeps causing a problem at TSA pre-check, you guys. So nonetheless, I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna chill. We'll have to do some old school type of videos, but that's okay. And we're just gonna get into it. We're going to talk about it. So I wanted to recap some things from Carlos King's Mr. Monday, and the big guest that he had was from Bell Collective Glen, which is Letitia's husband, and then he also had Marsau Scott on there from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, before we get into it, I want to say this, you guys. So many of you are easily fooled. Some of you are easily scammed. And I don't mean you, as in my supporters. I mean people who, for whatever reason, can fall for the types of shenanigans that Marsau and Glenn are saying, you guys. Like it was unreal how many people were drinking the Kool-Aid, and I was like, are we just going to erase and just forget like who is saying this stuff? Are we just going to have amnesia, you guys? Because this is the thing. This is how, again, these fans, they flip-flop, right? One moment they can't stand these people, the next minute they can, and all this other stuff, or they say a few things that makes you think, and then all of a sudden they're amazing, right? So I don't even understand. Carlos King wanted to insert himself, as he always does. I mean, the narcissism and the ego is out of control at this point. I don't even understand why he is having this conversation about women in his DMs and potentially dating women. You're not interested in women, so please stop it. I don't care what Marsau said on your Live with the Reality King special. Keep it a buck, Carlos King. It's not flattering. And then even Dustin was talking about it too. But he said that he hasn't even entertained a woman in 9 years, and it's like, listen, you guys know what you guys like. You guys know who you like. Why are you guys even trying to fool people or trying to entertain the shenanigans? Stop it, please. Please stop. So there was that. Then Carlos King, and he's so slick with it, he wanted to, again, reinforce that people on Love and Marriage Huntsville make money and that they get paid because it's the #1 show on OWN. And I was like, this must have been something that was pre-produced. Because out of nowhere, you guys, they were talking about gender roles in both Glenn's marriage and in Marsau's marriage. And they were talking about the checks from reality TV. Because as you guys know, there's Love and Marriage Huntsville, couples get paid, which is not the norm on other reality shows. Usually it's just the housewife that gets paid or whatever. And so Carlos had asked if both checks from Love and Marriage Huntsville, if Tisha's check and Marsau's check, go into their joint account or whatever. And Marsau is pulling Toya's husband, Eugene, from Married to Medicine, you guys. And that is, I pay for everything, you guys. Marsau, I pay for it all. Tisha has her own account and she has her own money, and I do not touch it. And all of the money from Love and Marriage Huntsville goes into Tisha's account. I don't even see it because I make so much money to pay for the family and all this and that we don't even have to worry about what's in Tisha's account. And I was like, really? Really? That's interesting. Okay. All right, bet, right? And so then Glenn went on a whole spiel about how he's always been successful in that, he supported Letitia's hopes and dreams and this and that. And he said he doesn't care if she makes more money than him right now, that he is still holding his own and all of this other stuff. Then they're up here talking about Carlos King was trying to get tea if women are currently in their DMs, and they kind of avoided it. Glenn basically said that he has a joint account now with his wife, Letitia. So essentially, whoever's commenting and you think it's Glenn commenting, it's actually his wife. Oh my gosh. And then Marsau kind of sidestepped it. It seems my takeaway is he's getting attention, he's getting DMs, but it's not from the women that he wants it to be. It is what my takeaway of that was. He wants it to be from a certain caliber of a woman, and whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And he tried to say, I think he was trying to throw shade at Maurice by saying, since he basically said without saying, back in the day, it was Maurice that the girls were all into, and when he tried to say this was just only in college, right? And that what would happen is Marsau would first be talking to a woman, and then they weren't really sure if they were interested, and then Maurice came over and was like the closer, and then the friends decided, yes, we're going to entertain that, and he's saying now that he feels that he's better looking now than Maurice. That Maurice, and I don't know if that was shade about the lawsuit. I don't know if Maurice is eating his feelings. I don't know if Maurice is letting himself go. But Marsau feels now like he is the most attractive, and he said that he's like medium attractive, and all these things. But he said he's got so much other stuff going on that makes him amazing. And I'm like, it's like what he's doing. You know exactly what Marsau is doing and what Marsau is saying. And here's the thing. Really, you just need to sit there and laugh. You need to sit there and laugh, because if you really try to sit there and critique everything he's saying, it's just wild. And the chat was loving it so much, you guys, that they were requesting for Glenn and Marsau to be back every Monday, you guys. And then Marsau said, oh yeah, we also need Funky Dineva. And I was like, oh really? I thought you don't watch YouTubers. I thought you don't talk to YouTubers, Marsau. Make it make sense. And then people were requesting Dustin. Some people were requesting Jamie Tyler from Love and Marriage DC, and that they need to have a man panel because they're dropping knowledge. So you're telling me that the best man to provide marriage advice, you guys, to provide advice on women, you guys, is none other than Glenn from Bell Collective and Marsau from Love and Marriage Huntsville? Are you guys kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? So, nonetheless, the main topics, they didn't even really do a review of Love and Marriage Huntsville or Bell Collective. The only thing they talked about in Bell Collective was Letitia buying that piece of land or whatever, and finding out that Glenn quit his job. And so Glenn's trying to say the rationale, it wasn't because of money, it was because he wanted to be at home more with his son and this and that and all this other foolishness. And so, nonetheless, the only thing they wanted to talk about on Huntsville, surprisingly, this might be the first episode in a while, Carlos King has not talked about Melody. Did not mention Melody at all. And I don't even think Martel's name was mentioned. That's, I was shook, because I was like, am I watching the correct channel? Am I seeing the correct recap? And Mel is not mentioned for once? Wow, And so, nonetheless, they said Carlos King, and he always overdoes it. He's like, oh yeah, the number one viral topic on social media that was trending on Twitter was this Ken, Tisha, and Marquez storyline. No, it wasn't. People actually, if we're going to keep it a buck, a lot more people were still talking about what was left of the girls' trip. Let's keep it a buck. A lot of people are sick of this Tisha, Ken, and Marquez and Martel on the side storyline. People have had it with all of it. So Carlos King wants to get, the advice of Marsau and Glen. Glen basically said that he was shedding a tear at the scene between Marquez and Ken and Trish, that he couldn't imagine a man coming in and taking his family away from him, and he would have to move some tables and punch some people. And so Carlos was asking, Marsau, like, what would you do in that situation? And Marsau is basically like, I would never let it get to this situation. I would never let it get to this point. And he low-key was saying as well, which we all know, Trish is not over Marquez, and Trish does not want this divorce and all of the things, you guys. She doesn't. There is a part of her, no matter how mad and hurt she is regarding Marquez, she was not done. She was not done, because here's the thing. A divorce is not difficult to get, you guys. You can get a divorce quick, fast, in a hurry. The only ones that really get drawn out is if it's, regarding money or splitting a property or custody issues, right? If there's kids involved. But nonetheless, if you want a divorce, you can get a divorce, right? And so I always felt that that was part of the reason, that there was something, maybe she was wanting Marquez to fight for her and fight for the family and all this and that. Because basically, the men were saying that, it's not just the fact that it's Ken tucking in his kids at night and getting the son a car and all this other stuff, but it's the fact that he's tucking in his wife as well. So, and this and that, and they wanted to talk about his muscles for whatever reason, and it's like, okay, all right. The whole thing to me, though, is messy. All of it is absolutely messy. I think Marsau said that him and Ken are like good friends right now. But it's just messy. And I don't know why they're trying to make it seem that that was actual divorce papers in the scene. Like I said, Trish just filed for a divorce in September. So if this scene filmed in April or March or May or whatever, what papers were that the people were signing is what I want to know. But they spent a lot of time on this, just really talking about, the difference between a man and a woman and the reason why, they cheat and all this other stuff. And basically, said that things started a lot sooner than what is being conveyed, because if you're already sending text messages and things while somebody else is in the house, while your husband's still in the house, you've already checked out emotionally. You're already emotionally out of that marriage, right? But there was something for Trish. There's something that delayed her. And I feel like if the show didn't happen, we would not be talking about a divorce anyways. I truly believe that. Whether Marquez moved back to Huntsville or not. And so Marsau said that he knew Ken before the show or whatever. So he's team Ken. He's team Ken, and he's team black men staying with your family and not leaving your family and not leaving your kids. And then we somehow got into a subject about would Marsau mess with a woman who has kids or whatever. If she was, would you leave your wife? Would you leave Letitia Scott for another woman and they had kids? And Marsau was like, I would have to be absolutely head over heels in love with her to do that, because I've got 3 kids and I don't want any more. And I was like, okay. Well, here's the thing, Marsau. I think you took steps, allegedly, to make sure that you will not have any more kids. So I don't think you have to worry about that. You would just essentially be a stepdaddy. But maybe you don't want to do all the things that Ken's doing, right? Maybe that is too much for you, right? Maybe that is too much, because we've seen the scenes where you were just not featuring at all any type of, stay-at-home father responsibilities, right? So nonetheless, that was kind of the gist of it, though. I mean, it was really Glen and Marsau really just trying to, and Carlos King is eating all this up and thinks that this is like great knowledge and great wisdom and all these things. Listen, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I always say consider the source. Consider the source. And a broken clock can be right twice a day, as far as I'm concerned, right? But nonetheless, if there's more negative than positive. What are we talking about? And then Glenn tried to throw some slick shade about his edit on Bell Collective and then quickly cleaned it up, right? After the fact, was basically saying that there's going to be a lot of Glenn stuff this season, that a lot of people don't like Glenn. Like before, he used to get some love. He said now he just gets all hate or whatever. And he's like, but it's because of my edit. And then he was like, but they are showing some real things. And I was like, uh-oh. I was like, we'll see what happens. We'll see if Carlos King, makes some edits in the cutting room. We'll see what happens from there. But yeah, I mean, that was really it, you guys. That was really it. It was just men talk. But like I said, it was who of the men that were talking. And Carlos King, like I said, I think he just has, these crushes on these men and this and that. So he doesn't care what they're saying, really, for real. And he's up there in a robe and stuff. And people keep asking Carlos if he is, like, if he's moved, because nobody has seen that closet. But my thing is this. Why not just film Mr. Monday from your closet, Carlos? It shuts everything down of people accusing the African ex of kicking you out. And nobody asked whether or not you owned homes. You're not Monique Samuels. We don't care how many homes you have. We're talking about the home that you made your home base for Messy Mondays. That you specifically wanted to brag about that particular home, that particular closet, and all of the things. That's what the people want answers to. So until that is produced, people are going to continue to speculate. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.